good morning. Welcome back. This is Leo Kane with Barrel Engineering and Inspection. Proud to be here with Dr. Brett Berner of Foundation Chiropractic, your neighborhood Lutz chiropractor who does magic without popping, cracking, twisting, rubbing, tugging, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I find this so fascinating, Brett, and I have not yet come to get an adjustment, and you're opening your practice soon, right? So when are you launching?
We are set to open October 19th, depending on the build-out and how long it's going to take. COVID has definitely pushed us back, but there are a lot of people around the area that need to get healthier. And you mentioned the word magic. The magic is your own body. When we can correct it and let the nerves function and do what your body's supposed to do, that's the real magic, is inside of you, really.
Well, that's like a good movie. It was within you all along.
It was always inside you,
all
my
along.
son.
Yes.
So tell me about that. Like how, let's get into the technicalities of, well, first of all, why don't you share on chiropractic care? Because there could definitely be somebody listening that's never been to a chiropractor. I will tell you my own experience. I never, ever, ever went to a chiropractor until I had a client that was a chiropractor. We were actually in the field showing properties, and I had a rib out. A rib, like out of place. And I couldn't breathe. I was like, I took a breath in, and it like hurt. Like I just couldn't breathe. And he was like, it sounds like you have a rib out. Like, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? How could I have a rib out? And literally, when I went to the chiropractor, it took me like 2 or 3 adjustments, and it was totally normal. And I had migraines always, like pretty much my whole life. So I started doing chiropractic adjustments for migraines too, and it helped that as well. So if I didn't do it myself, I don't know that I would believe it. But that was my own experience with chiropractic care. So you can jump in and follow that. And
yeah, sure. Well, we can start with what is chiropractic. Chiropractic is Greek for practices by hand. The first adjustment that was given was actually not for someone's headache or pain. It was for someone's hearing loss. Somewhere along the line, maybe health insurance was involved, some personal injury, car accidents. We kind of steered away from really what is healing, what is health, to let's manage pain. Let's do pain management. And there are a lot of chiropractors around the Tampa Bay area that are tremendous at what they do, which is that pain management. And I'm not putting them down at all. If you want to get some natural pain relief, chiropractic, a traditional chiropractic adjustment is just awesome. And it might be better for your body than taking a Tylenol or a painkiller. But if you want to experience true correction, I practice a technique called foundational correction.
And there are different practices, right?
Yeah, the human body is very complex. There's hundreds of different techniques out there, but this specific technique, we are looking at the foundation of the body. The foundation of the body is at the upper cervical spine. And at the upper cervical spine, you have what's called the atlas bone. It's the smallest bone in the body, about 2 to 3 ounces. So why do they call it the atlas bone? Again, back to the Greek term. The atlas is holding up the globe. Your atlas is also holding up your globe too, which is your head and brain. And most of the time, the neck, because it's so small, it shifts a lot. And you go back to your rib, maybe poor posture, maybe sitting for too long, maybe texting on the phone, maybe traumas, things like that can happen. And we get these symptoms, or what I call in my office, secondary conditions. Why do I say secondary? Because the primary condition is a shifted segment at the upper cervical spine at the top of the neck. And that can lead to compensations, low back pain, mid back pain, arm pain. All these are because the foundation is shifted away from normal. So the cracking, popping, and twisting, that popping, cracking noise is called a cavitation. So when you're increasing the pressure at that site, similar to when you pop a champagne bottle, it pops and you have that fizz, same thing is happening in our spine.
Now, I don't want to picture that, like the head flying off and the blood gushing everywhere and someone going, yeah!
You would totally go there.
I am rewatching Game of Thrones right now, so there's a little bit of that in there.
You still haven't finished Game of Thrones?
No, I'm just rewatching it.
Oh, okay.
So tell me, so talk more about what that noise is, like why you hear it, and why does it make you feel better? And
so it's the gases dispersing, and the nerves at that spot are not as obstructed, basically. And pain's coming from nerve fibers, okay? But when they're doing that, what are they really doing? They're finding areas that are stuck, and they're moving them, and they're getting more movement, which is great. It's going to help increase range of motion, decrease your pain, but at the end of the day, it's usually a temporary fix.
How does and I know it's a nitrogen release, but how does that gas get there?
That's a good question.
Just build up over time, just being in a poor position, poor biomechanics. Just if one side is tilted or shifted on one side, that area can kind of build up. Now, when you get that pop sound, some people like to think the more cracks I got that day, the better that the adjustment was. We have to look at what the x-rays show. The x-rays are the gold standard. That's going to show us exactly how something is shifted. Some chiropractors choose to not take x-rays, and that's their choice. But would you go to the dentist if they didn't take x-rays?
I thought most of them do, unless you're already normally get chiropractic care.
Some
Most
refer
of them
out.
don't. Like my chiropractor referred me out when it was time for x-rays, so yeah.
But did he adjust you before x-rays, or did you have to get them first?
No, I've been adjusted for like years and then did some x-rays and then...
Some then. I mean, you know, some are great at what they do, and I'm not putting them down, but we have to figure out what's going on specifically at that area. So the first thing that I do in my office is have a consultation. So I can explain the process, explain what it is that we do, and we're not going to be one of those traditional clinics that's just going to twist, pop, crack your neck. It is not about how many adjustments that we can cram into the week. You come into the office to get checked to see if you need to get the adjustment or not.
And you're looking for what? To see if the bodies and the bones like shifted? Or
so it's based off the first set of x-rays. So we're looking at the upper cervical spine at the top of the neck, and I take about 3 to 4 different types of x-rays. I have a software that figures out how that bone is shifted down to the 100th of a degree. So the more specific you are at that sensitive area, and we were talking about the brain-body connection. This is the brainstem. All the nerves in our body flow right through that area, blood vessels to and from the brain. The biggest thing is really spinal fluid. Spinal fluid is the nerve system's detergent, and that has to flow through your brain, down your spine, keep flowing, and if it doesn't, problems can happen.
is that why yoga is so good for you?
Yoga is great because there's a lot of extension poses, because a lot of us are flexion when we're sitting, and yoga is just tremendous to do, especially hot yoga. I used to do hot yoga for like one whole summer, and I left one day, and someone cut me off on the road, and I didn't really care because I was so calm. I was like, all right, sure. All right.
I've heard really great things about it. I've never done it.
Yeah, it's like
love
just
it.
do
It's like 100 degrees.
just do yoga outside in Florida during the summer. It's hot yoga.
Yeah, I guess that might be about the same. So tell me about your adjustments. Like what could somebody expect if they come to you? Because your technique's different. Like how are you adjusting without cracking or twisting or popping?
When you're looking at this area, this bone again at the top of the spine, it's only 2 to 3 ounces, which is crazy because the head weighs about 10 to 14 pounds, which is basically like a 12-pound bowling ball. I don't know when the last time you've been bowling, but a bowling ball is pretty heavy. So you have a 12-pound bowling ball, and you got a pack of gum, basically. That's it. 75% of the head motion is done at the upper cervical spine. Based off the x-rays.
Here in the back of the neck?
Right behind your earlobe, right behind the ear, is where the first bone is located. So right behind your jaw, which a lot of people complain of, I have TMJ problems, and they're really pointing right to the upper cervical spine because those nerves exit that area and they travel to the face. You get jaw pain, you get cramping, you get tinnitus, headaches, migraines. All these types of problems can be caused by the primary condition, which is the shift at that segment. Now, how do I do it? I don't use my hands. I have a special instrument because technology and science has advanced so much that we can be more specific. And I have a laser-guided instrument
Don't use your hands. Chiropractic means hands healing.
I use my hands with the instrument then.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Or I guide the
I know, I'm
patient.
trying to follow along here.
I use my hands to guide the patient into the room to get their correction or to see if they need to get the correction. So
Just asking a simple question.
So
And
it's really
then-
good. So basically, I have a tape measure and I get a vector. I get a specific angle that I take. So I measure the A and the B of the triangle, and my adjustment is the C vector.
Wait a minute. The A, explain that.
triangle.
We're on radio, so
Hypotenuse.
draw a
We're
picture.
back into
Draw-
Greek mythology here.
Oh,
We're
okay.
at a
We're
triangle.
going back to the Greeks.
Can you
We're going-
explain it for those of us that don't remember?
We are going to geometry class. So the X, Y, and Z axis. I'm just trying to keep it simple. If you ever played, Battleship as a kid, and you nail the battleship, I'm getting those coordinates to sink that ship. It's a good thing, though. That's a bad ship. That ship should be sunk.
It's a good analogy.
Got it.
Pretty good, I guess so. Or if you want to get GPS coordinates, I'm not saying go down, turn left. It's probably over there somewhere. No, here are the specific latitude and longitude coordinates to get that area corrected. Now, the crazy thing is, you may feel better. All you're feeling is normal. I need to confirm that though, so I do a post-X-ray afterward. So I can confirm the X-ray showed proof that my math lined up with how the correction went.
So
Getting your head on
So
straight.
you're totally using geometry in your practice,
Yeah,
really?
math,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't-
C squared equals A squared plus B squared.
Yeah, here we go. I have high schoolers. I'm having to relearn this stuff. It's not fun.
Then do the square root of that, carry the 6. But kids are, I'm not going to do math again. Well, if you become a chiropractor, then you might have to do a little bit of math. But
or an engineer.
I would not think that.
It's really about getting your head on straight, because life is great when your head's on straight, right? When the obstructions of the brainstem are removed, our life is much better and we can heal. And that's really the true point of health, is the first few letters of that is heal. It is not the lack of symptoms. It is not I don't have headaches. It's that my well-being, my quality of life is much better.
All right, so I've got some more questions, and we're going to answer them when we come back. It's going to take too long, but I want to know, like, how long does it last, and just all this kind of stuff. And I imagine the person listening, especially that's had a chiropractic adjustment, has some questions too. So I'll give you the studio call-in lines. We're live, 888-404-1010. 888-404-1010. If you got a question for Dr. Brett Berner that we've not covered, 888-404-1010. And then when we come back after the break, we'll give you our off-air number. But right now, questions for Dr. Brett, 888-404-1010. This is Tampa Home Talk. We will be back in just a moment. Stick around.
Welcome back to Tampa Home Talk. This is Adam Talley with Talley Insurance, and we're talking with Dr. Brett Berner of Foundation Chiropractic.
Good morning. Good to talk to you guys. Yeah.
I'm still trying to visually see the no cracking, popping, or twisting with a chiropractor.
It's a laser. He shoots you with lasers.
So you got to explain to me a little more, like how it moves and how long it lasts.
Well, the laser goes.
How do you know if it's right? You got to get X-rays again.
Caused by crystal diffraction of light to a high-intensity waveform.
Wow.
So you're moving the neck with
How
light?
does he know? No. So, okay, going back to homes, okay. If your home starts to have the drywall crack, the floorboards are loose, the roof shingles are falling off, the
You
windows
call Leo
This
with
is
Barrel
Leo.
Engineering and Inspection.
So what do? You call and you look at the housing foundations off. So would it make sense to keep patching up the drywall, keep fixing the floorboards, or would you inspect the foundation to fix the foundation? So we have to look at what is really the cause of these issues, what's really causing these headaches, and not just patching up the drywall. How long does it last? Everyone's different. If we can catch this early on at like even a newborn, because the birthing process is pretty traumatic, okay?
Makes sense.
And it's as gentle as checking the ripeness of a tomato, because their little bones are so small. But if you can set them up for having a normal structure, their life is going to be much better.
So are you doing X-rays there, or are you referring them out to get X-rays and then come back?
Do X-rays there. It makes it much easier on everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if I do a post X-ray too. How long is it going to last though? It depends on how long has that person been shifted. How long have they been experiencing these problems? Is it from a car accident? Is it from multiple car accidents, especially driving on here on US 19?
Can you tell if someone shifted by touching them or only looking at the X-rays?
So you can definitely touch, but again, touching, that's subjective, okay? Because, you may be tight on one side or maybe warm, but maybe that was just because you're facing the sun on a sunny Florida day. We have to look at the X-rays. The X-rays are going to show us the proof of what's going on at that area and figure out what is the cause of that issue.
And so how long does it last for most people?
Well,
I know it's different.
Think about it like this.
Okay.
This is the big, like, a lot of people think chiropractic's a sham. Like, they did your crack, they could fix you, and then you have to go back once a week because that's what they're doing to get you to go back. How are you sitting right now? Poorly. After you get adjusted and you're perfect, how are you going to be sitting again?
Thank you.
Poorly.
Yeah.
So you're putting yourself in the position repeatedly of sitting poorly with poor posture.
I usually sit up straight. What do you mean?
Everybody in the room all of a sudden stands up.
Everyone stands
I've been
up.
leaning over like this the entire time. Ooh, yeah, you're right.
To sit up nice and straight, it's really easy. Try to picture your earlobes over your shoulder. If you can picture your earlobes over your shoulder, it's going to straighten up your whole body. You can't arms back, shoulders back, head back, hips back.
Now I'm going to fall over in my chair.
Well,
I always sit up
far back?
anyway.
I feel like I'm going to take one.
Was I hunching over?
You are.
so
Okay.
due to muscle memory, the body starts, going, oh, this is normal, over and over again. So similar, if you want to go to the gym and you meet the personal trainer and he goes, hey, this is the program, you want to meet your goals, you want to get some muscle mass, you want to lose some weight, lean out, X, Y, and Z. It takes, 2 times a week, 3 times a week for 3 straight months. We take progress X-rays along the way. And again, when you come into the office, we're checking you to see if you need to get the adjustment. Because I love my patients, but I want to see them less. Because if I'm not seeing them, that means they're stabilizing, they're healthy, they're healing, and they're having a much better life.
So there's no popping. It never pops when the laser.
It's not it's a laser guided instrument, so it's like a gentle percussion, kind of like Newton's cradle, those little 4 balls that hit and they go back and forth. So that transfer of energy from that force coming from the top area going down to the spine. I see a lot of patients that have low back pain, and I'm not touching the low back. So how is that? There's a lot of muscles in that low back area, but guess where they start? The top of the head, or the top of the neck.
I mean, that makes sense, but I know there's been times where like my bottom half is like messed up, and the chiropractor will like right above my butt.
Yeah.
And
That was a good pop. By
That
the
was
way.
that's
Yeah.
a good
That's a
sound.
great pop.
So picture a chain link, okay? Chain links are chained up. You take the top chain, you twist it. What's going to happen? The bottom is going to start twisting too, or like a domino effect. So if we can twist all this down here, it feels great. You go against gravity. Your head was never on perfectly straight. It falls back to where it was again.
I'm gonna have to come like check it out so I can explain it better because I'm just not seeing it. I'm following what you're saying.
We're not chasing the crack. We are chasing correction, and that's what we want. We
I'm
want
not
to.
chasing crack. I love that. Put that on your shirt.
It's that might get some negative feedback though. So the whole thing is though, we don't want you to feel better. We want you to experience the foundational difference. Experience normal, because the true definition of health. This is from the World Health Organization. I'm going to pull it up right
You should have
now.
that memorized.
I know. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. It is not, I don't have any symptoms, so I'm healthy. Somewhere along the line, we are pairing symptoms and pain with health.
So how many?
That's the drug companies trying to sell us
Yeah.
pills.
Yeah. How many people do you think walking around are just like out of whack?
A lot.
Most?
Most.
What percentage would you say?
I mean,
99.
99% maybe, and some people will go through lives and never experience true correction to their spine. They're never going to experience optimal function because the nerves regulate everything in the body. And what's really important right now to regulate? The body's immune system, right?
Yeah.
The nerves control that. So what protects the nerves that are coming out of the spine? The spinal column. So it's not directly boosting the immune system, but it can give your body a better chance to adapt, react, and heal. And also take a vitamin D, because they're showing in 70% of all the hospitalizations of people with COVID, lower levels of vitamin D.
Which is funny that people in Florida would need to take vitamin D pills, but I take one every morning.
It's one of the cheapest supplements, and it's actually free if you go out in the sun for 20 to 30 minutes without applying sunblock between the hours of like 12 and 4.
But you have
Watch
to
out
be
for skin
careful with your
cancer.
vitamin D supplements because there's 1,000 milligrams, there's 1,500 milligrams, there's 5,000 milligrams. The bottles all look the same. Which one am I supposed to be taking?
The best thing is they get a blood test. The blood test is going to show specifically what your vitamin D levels are at. I take a vitamin D 3 plus K2. K2 is totally different. Just to really quick, go into those supplements. K2, the K is German for coagulation. They use a K and not a C because K1 was found to stop blood clotting. K2 is new. It's a newer supplement. Talk to your doctor first, but it's a calcium transporter. So what does that mean? It takes the calcium from the bad areas, excess in your joints, the heart walls, and puts it into the good areas, your teeth and your
Bones?
bones. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
That's-
I was
that's the
thinking of
word.
joints. I'm like, no, we take it out of the joints. But it can help tremendously with heart issues, stroke problems, bone density. So you pair it with the D3. It's very low cost too. But
Which, by the way, like after 40 or 50, you really need vitamin D supplements, right?
Yeah, especially a female too, but kids as young as newborns. That of course, talk to your doctor first, and the levels are much lower. I think kids is only 400 IU's, but talk to your doctor first. But
I think they're saying like, and for women it's different, of course, premenopausal versus postmenopausal. But I want to say it's like 12 to 1,500 milligrams of vitamin D is generally what doctors recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, back to the blood test. The blood test is really going to show what specifically does your body need, because everyone's different, but a lot of us are vitamin D deficient.
Does that ever change? Like you test your blood, will it be different in 6 months or a year?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're following that protocol, if you're getting healthier, if you're taking the vitamin D, but that's the one thing that you can definitely take to boost the body's immune system. It turns on certain genes in the body to help your body function better, basically. Decreases depression, which
Fight scurvy.
scurvy's vitamin C.
I was close.
But it's all right. It's one letter off. Yeah. Just think of pirates like scurvy, because they had issues with scurvy. Probably fine right now though.
So
So the cracking and popping that you keep talking about, you probably felt good, right? Once you got that area popped, cracked, and
yeah,
fixed.
you can move.
So
Yeah.
what feels even best is when there's no obstruction at the upper spine, at that brain stem. You feel it through the whole body. The biggest thing is that your body starts to function better. Someone with chronic low back pain can say, man, I can go to the bathroom now. I don't have issues like that. What did you do to me? I didn't do anything. I'm not claiming to fix your headaches, fix your pain, fix your back, fix your neck, fix your knee. I'm claiming to fix your shifted segment at the foundation, and guess what? Your body fixes it.
So you only adjust up at the neck. Like if somebody has something in their feet, right, or their ankle, it's still only the neck?
Well, if it's the feet or the ankle, refer them out to like a podiatrist, someone else. I will do a full body examination, figure out what's going on, the x-rays too. If there is something more specific at that low back, I will take an x-ray of that area. But I'm not just adjusting one bone, I'm using it as a lever to correct the spine.
I know it sounds crazy, but I've even had my foot adjusted.
Yeah, there's a lot of bones in that area too, and we're walking, we're standing, and they can kind of shift, and they cause, foot issues. So.
Well, women, like when we wear heels, sometimes too much, it can really
Well, when you're wearing
mess us up.
heels, you're bringing your head forward, so that can cause what's called anterior head syndrome. So basically, take a bowling ball, have it close to you, bring it farther away. It gets much heavier, and that's what's happening when we're on our phones. A 60-degree angle like that adds up to 60 pounds of pressure on top of your back.
So we should be like this.
You shouldn't hold your phone up like it's Simba in Lion King or something, but you should use your eyes, look down. Yep, just like that, exactly. But use your eyes, look down. Just try to develop these habits of having your head more in a neutral position, having your earlobes over your shoulder. Never sleep on your stomach because you're just twisting your head the whole night long, 6 to 8 hours or whatever.
To be able to breathe.
Wait, don't sleep on your stomach.
Don't sleep on your stomach.
Do not, because the body likes that because of the pressure on the stomach.
What about your side?
The side's great, back's great.
You got to put a pillow in a certain place.
I move all the time. I can't stay on one side.
sleep.
I'm like a pancake. I got to keep flipping.
You can sleep standing up like in the Conehead movie. You can do that too if you want.
I drive my husband nuts because I flip literally like all the time. I never stay in the same spot.
Yeah. So maybe the mattress is old. Is it a soft mattress?
It's not old. It's pretty, like we've been through this so many times with the mattress. I feel like it's still never right.
There's not something in the bed crawling around and you're moving from that? Oh, I'm just
Like
kidding.
a dog?
A dog? Yeah. A husky?
Do you sleep with the dog in the bed?
The 5-pound Yorkie, not the Husky.
Oh, the
He's
Yorkie,
too
yeah.
big.
Yeah,
The
husky.
Yorkie, but he moves. He doesn't even sleep near me because I move too much. He's by me all the time until it's time for bed, and he's like, yeah, she'll move. So, yeah, no, I feel like I'm kinked up in one spot too long and move around.
Possibly, something's maybe shifted in the neck.
And I sleep in weird positions. I don't know about you guys, but I sleep
I sleep on my back.
like just like this all night.
I sleep on my back, with a pillow underneath my knees.
Okay.
And you just stay like that all night?
Well, I usually go to bed drunk, so yeah, I just pass right out.
What about you, Adam? Do you sleep like on your back like this all night?
With your arms folded over on your
No,
chest?
typically on my side.
See, I'm like usually like this weird position with my leg up,
Well,
pillow between.
in all seriousness, I do
my
sleep
knees.
with my arms folded over because between the dogs and my wife taking up the 90% of the bed, I have to fit in this little coffin-like area.
Yeah, we used to have that problem, and we went to a king-size bed. It was like the best thing ever. My husband jokes it's like we have different zip codes, but I'm like, no, I actually get some space in the bed now. All right. When we come back in just a minute, we are going to talk to Jax. They are a local printing company right here in the Tampa Bay area. We're going to chat about some of the promotional things that they do. Dr. Brett, thanks so much for coming in this morning. We're glad to have you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
And you'll be opening October 19th right
October
here in the
19th.
Trinity area.
Yep. And we are now taking patients to pre-book if you visit foundationflorida.com.
Yeah, and if you want to just call or text, we'll get you guys connected with Dr. Brett, 813-377-2775. If you want to get more information, have a consultation, 813-377-2775.